Hey guys, it is Mike from Baltimore Rides here. Tuesday, September 19th video. I'm actually, we've spilled over. It's about 1:45 in the morning, Wednesday morning. But I'm just giving you guys kind of a heads up and a wrap up video at the same time. I did not do an earlier clip when I started my day. But, you know, for most of you guys, you know that I was off yesterday, and that's why there was no Monday video. My week is starting off to a pretty decent start. Not a great night tonight in DC. It was pretty sleepy. I'm finishing the night right at $150. It's 1:45. You know, I could probably stay down here in the bar district, kind of like, you know, U Street, V Street, 13th, 14th, and hang around and probably pick up an extra, you know, $15 or so from a couple small fares. But there's no surge, there's no boost, you know, so everything is pretty much minimum fares at this point, which is, you know, $3 a fare. And the way I feel is, you know, sometimes it's better to, you know, to quit while you're ahead, so to speak, rather than just linger and try and, you know, just pick for crumbs. So, you know, I've got an hour plus drive home. I know I've got to start making my way there at some point. You know, I have my app on, I have navigation set, or my destination set, so if I pick up any ride going north towards Baltimore, I'll take it. And obviously this video will get interrupted, but that's kind of my thought process is, you know, I'm okay tonight finishing at 150. Last week, and I was looking at it yesterday, you know, last week I had $250 days. I had 3 days that were obviously over 200. And then I got both quest goals. I got the medium goal for the Monday through Thursday period, and then I got the full goal for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday period. So I still made my, you know, my 1,000 plus that I wanted. And I'm okay with, you know, I'm okay with $150 on a Tuesday night. I really, really am. You know, that's kind of par for the course. You know, obviously my expectations of myself are higher. I'm not happy with 150, but I'm okay with 150. The quest goal for this week is a little bit soft. 43 trips gets me $55, I think it is. And 70 trips gets me $80, which if you do the math, it's basically an extra $1 a trip. I mean, we're not talking, they're not splurging on this one. But if I can pick up an extra $80 doing what I'm already doing, you know, it's 23, 24 trips a day. I did 22 or 23 trips today on a Tuesday. So, and I got off to kind of a little bit of a late start. I didn't get down to DC till like 4:30. I'll be fine. So that's an extra $80 in the bag for the week. And then whatever weekend goal they throw out there, I will probably get as well. So, you know, I'm not too stressed about my quest goals. They're typically attainable if you're willing to put the hours in and just kind of do the grind. So, you know, that's that. So there you go. So, like, you know, that's not a bad night. I'm not disappointed with the night at all. I feel like, you know, there has to be a level of flexibility when you say, okay, you know, what is my target, and then what is my, you know, minimum survival number? And I think for a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, my minimum survival number is definitely 150. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's got to be $200 a night. You know, I'm not sure what's going to happen. One of my buddies is moving this Saturday, and in the morning I might go and give him some help. I don't know what that's going to do to my Saturday business. I might end up having to flex some hours around and work a little bit longer days on maybe Friday or Sunday just to compensate. But, you know, I don't have a lot of friends. I have a very small kind of tight-knit group of buddies that I consider to be close friends. And the six of us, you know, we kind of look after each other. And That means being there for my friends, because they'll be there for me if I need them to, and that's what we all do for each other. So, my buddy's moving into a house. He's the one that just got married this spring, and that's what I want to do, is I want to be there and give him a little bit of help. He's got, hold on, speed camera, slow my ass down. That's just what you do. So, way off topic here, guys, but that's where you have to be flexible in your goals. I was talking to somebody about Uber tonight, a customer, and we were talking about, planning and strategy and, knowing when to be flexible and when not to be. And, that's definitely part of this whole process, is that, plans within plans, backup plans within backup plans. And then on top of that, you have to be agile. There has to be a level of flexibility where you can say, okay, this week is going to be different than next week. This week is slightly going to be a little bit off schedule because of whatever. So instead of doing this, I'm going to do that. As long as you know that at the end of the week, you still want to make your number, you just have to strategize what you're going to do differently to get there. You can't expect to do the same thing on less hours and get there. Somebody on Facebook tonight, I'm in a couple different Uber groups on Facebook. I like to just sort of browse them because I don't post much or even really comment much, but it's always interesting to get other people's insights. Somebody tonight asked, what's the best way to make $300 to $500 in one day with Uber? And a lot of people were chiming in with all these crazy things, and I said I responded, it's not reasonable. I said, it's just not reasonable to do that unless you're going to work a ridiculous amount of hours. As an UberX, Uber Eats, and Uber Pool driver, that's a very challenging day, because you guys see me and I grind a lot of hours, and I'm typically on a good day, meaning a weekend, with a high customer volume. I'm doing 200 to 250. Not including Quest, not including any of that stuff. But, in a one day, you're not going to make a Quest goal in one day. So you can't really add that money into the equation. Now, if you're driving XL or a black vehicle, those numbers change. XL's mileage rate is higher than ours. The black vehicles can make a killing, but they don't make it in volume. You might not get 5 black rides a day, whereas I do 20 to 30 Uber rides a day. So again, it's a math game. I don't know what Black's business models look like. There's some drivers out there that are making a killing with Uber Black, but I don't know how they're doing it because I don't have one. I drove XL for a while when I first started, when I was using the minivan, and you can make good money with XL, but your cost of wear and tear and mileage and fuel on your vehicle is brutal. It's why I've got the Uber lease. It's, from a math standpoint, it's better to give up XL and save on the fuel economy. To me, it is. I think it's good math. So, that's kind of my 2 cents on that subject. But there are reasonable numbers, guys. Anybody that says they're making $500 a day with Uber, I'm not going to say they're lying, but I am going to say, show me the proof, show me the screenshot that's not been manipulated. Give me something tangible. I want to see the number of trips you did. I want to see the number of hours you drove. I want to see where you were. I want to see it to believe it, because I just don't. I do think 300 is reasonable. I've had a couple days that were darn close. And, you can get a spike. If you finish your Quest goal in a day, it adds into that day's business. So, you can do $200 and then finish a $100 Quest at the end of a week, and it'll look like you did $300. You really didn't. You really did 200, and then you got your bonus when it loaded. But, so there's ways to make the screen look different than they really are. So don't always believe screenshots unless, you really get somebody to show them to you. And frankly, guys, that's why I'm having such a hard time figuring this out for you guys. I'm not that good at this whole video editing nonsense. I would love to find a way to splice in, me taking a video of my screenshots, but I don't know how to do that. And other than getting a separate phone and running 2 phones, I'm not that technically savvy. I'm just not. You know, I don't really want to have two phones running in my car at the same time. There's benefits to it. I could run music. You know, I could do Pandora or Spotify or whatever. You know, and I could definitely then do video of my phone, but you know, I'm not really at a point where I want to add another line to my account just for that. So that's why I haven't pulled the trigger on that yet. It doesn't mean that I'm not seriously considering it, but I just haven't pulled that trigger yet. So I'm trying to, guys. You know, I don't think any of you guys doubt me for the numbers I'm putting up there. I'm not saying I'm doing $1,000 a day or anything, you know, stupid. I'm giving you my kind of honest math, you know, but it's tricky because there are people that are making better money than me at this. The trade-off is they're working brutal hours. They're working early morning, rush hour, then going home for a 3-hour nap and a shower, then getting back up and doing afternoon rush hour, then going home for 2 hours for a meal, then getting back up again and doing the bar scene, then going home for 2 hours. And, you know, they're working their bodies into a grave. And, you know, I've got a wife and kids. I want to see my kids. I don't want to just be a corpse. It's already tricky enough sometimes when you know, my sleep schedule's all, you know, weirdish, and, you know, I'm not, aside from my day off and my half day, you know, I'm not really spending a ton of quality time with my kids. I get them to school in the morning, you know, I get to see them a little bit in the afternoon before I get in the car sometimes, but, you know, that's my Monday through Friday routine, where really I'm just there to, you know, to support my wife a little bit and obviously to crunch some money. But, you know, taking Mondays off to get to be with my kids, and the half day that I get to be with my kids, you know, that's where it matters to me is, you know, I still got to work 5 days a week. You still got to make money. Still got to pay the bills. So there's a trade-off. You know, some of these guys that I know that are driving ridiculous hours, they're single, they don't have kids. You know, they're just putting a buttload of hours into this equation, and they're making good money. You know, a couple of these guys I know, they're supporting families, and again, they're working themselves to the bone, and, you know, like me, they're struggling with the quality of time they're with their family. And, you know, this is where my budget is what it is. You know, I know what I need to do to make a living. I know what I need to do to pay my bills. I'm not trying to be, you know, a millionaire. I'm just trying to take care of my family, pay my bills, and find that balance where I can. You know, is it perfect right now? No, I'm not going to say it's perfect, but it's working, and I'm okay with that. That's, you know, that's the trick for me is I'm okay with the amount of hours I'm working. I'm okay with the shift that I'm working, and I think it's a decent balance. So just, you have to make that personal decision for you. You know, could I switch to all mornings and do mornings? Probably. Would I make as much money? I don't think so, because I make a lot of business comes late at night. You know, a lot of my business is the 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. business, the night dinner scene, bar scene, you know, the event scene. In the morning, really all you've got is morning rush hour. And then once everybody gets to work, it stops. So, you know, the airport business, I'm not really in the mood to go back to the airport business, although I might play and do that on my half days instead of Towson, because I was very disappointed with my results from Towson the other day. I really was. So, you know, the BWI might be my half day. You know, it'll give me an opportunity to maybe pick up a couple long trips. Not really sure how I want to play that out yet. It's just, I'm toying with ideas in the back of my head. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see, because at the end of the day, I've just got to make my numbers. And, you know, that's what this is about. It's a job. It's about making numbers. And we're going to do what we're going to do. I would love to figure out how to get more referrals, and not being web savvy, that's probably holding me back, because I think the amount of passengers you convert to drivers is pretty slim. That's a much more, you know, tiny number than the amount of people I could recruit if I was maybe going to colleges or, doing that kind of recruiting drive stuff. But I'll be honest, I don't have any experience doing that. So I feel like a novice, and I don't necessarily have a comfort level of just showing up at a college and saying, hey, I want to see if I can sign people up to be Uber drivers. Like, that feels very awkward to me. So that's where we are. That referral money would be a great way to insulate my business. I'm just not sure how to start it yet. So that's another thing on my list of homework assignments and things to learn. So we'll see. Always things I'm thinking about. That's the beauty of this job, is that, you're in your car, you're driving. Probably 75% of your customers are quiet. They're listening to music, they're talking to themselves, they're talking to each other, or they're just in nappy mode. And so you really have a quiet atmosphere to think. You're in your head the whole time. And I could be thinking about the Patriots, I could be thinking about video games or movies or whatever, but I'm not. I'm thinking about work. I'm thinking about, what I can be working on, what I can do better, where I'm going to go next, what my night is progressing like, where I think the next surge is going to appear. I'm always thinking about, business when I'm in the car, because this is my office, and I'm trying to be very forward thinking while I'm in the car and come up with issues and come up with things I can be getting better at. I'm not going to say I'm the best. I'm not going to say I'm even good at what I'm doing. I'm working hard at what I'm doing, but I don't think I'm, at all an expert at this. I really don't. I think that I'm a novice who's just working very hard, who wants to work less hard and more smart. I don't know if that made any sense. It's kind of late. But, that's my goal, is to work less hard and more smart. Think about that. Instead of beating your head against the wall to break the wall down, walk through the door. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do right now, is I'm putting in the hours, I'm grinding in the car. I definitely have strategy, I definitely have plans, but I'm still putting in a lot of hours in the car. And anything that I can do slowly over time to pull my butt out of the car seat a little bit more and more each day, while not losing revenue or income, that's a goal. And that's really where this is, that's where this whole thing started, is, I would love to evolve. My 5-year plan is me not driving anymore. And I have a lot of ideas on how I'm going to make that happen, but they're all very much in their infancy stage at this point. But you do have to have a plan for how many years you think you can sustain this. And that's kind of my number. And I think ride sharing is going to change in the next 5 years. Have we reached the saturation point? No. Have we reached a point where, I'm going to lose revenue doing the same thing? No. You guys know that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be helping you and telling you all my secrets. But, but at the same time, I don't want to sit in a car all day. I've gained 10 pounds in 4.5 months. That concerns me. My health, at some point, this is going to affect my heart, my blood pressure, my weight. Heck, I might even get diabetes. I don't know I'm going to start falling apart. I mean, I know it. I'm not active. I'm not walking as much as I used to. I'm not moving around as much as I used to. I'm therefore not burning as much calories. I'm kind of eating worse a little bit. So all these things are going to contribute to poorer and poorer health if I don't start thinking ahead. So there you have it. My dad passed away at 52 years of age when I was in high school from lung cancer, because he smoked like a chimney and worked himself to the grave. I mean, worked himself to death. My dad worked so hard. It's not even funny. It was just, the guy was a machine and just did not know when to stop. Just didn't know when to stop. True workaholic. I've definitely got the bug, but he had it bad. And on top of that, he smoked like a chimney. And, he died. He got lung cancer and died. I don't want that. I don't want that for myself. I don't want that for the kids. I want to be around. I want to be around for them. You know, I want to see my kids graduate high school. I want to see them graduate college. I want to see my daughter and my son both get married one day. I want to see grandkids. I want all that shit. And pardon my language. And, you know, my dad never got to see any of that. So there's always this internal battle in my head about working too hard or family work balance. All these things are like conflicts within you. And we all have these issues. They're different issues, but we all have them. You know, things that affect us, you know, based on our childhood or, you know, what we experienced growing up and how we maybe want to do it differently in our own lives as adults. You know, so that's one of my demons that I have to wrestle with is, you know, working too hard and what I saw it do to my own father, but also providing for my family and, you know, finding that balance. You know, so that's one of my inner demons. You guys know that I'm a little bit of a borderline workaholic, but I'm trying to work smart and not hard. I really am. So, you know, that's kind of my moral message for tonight. I know it's not really technical stuff tonight. I didn't give you guys any insight into how to be better drivers or, you know, any secret tips on DC. None of that tonight, I'm sorry. But, you know, tonight was kind of like a spiritual, moral discussion or me rambling. But it's important that you guys, you know, I'm human, just like you guys. And, you know, if I'm struggling with these things and thinking about these things and, you know, I've got these things that are going on in my life that I'm trying to balance and juggle, you guys do too. I know you do. You know, everybody does. We all have bills, we all have issues, we all have things we worry about, you know, and that's part of what makes us who we are. We don't deny it, but you have to be, you know, you have to work with it. You have to work within it and you have to accept it. You have to know your weaknesses and know your strengths and, you know, and work around your limitations as best you can. Instead of letting them be a crutch or something that holds you back, you have to work around your limitations and evolve. You know, like sharks don't ever stop moving because they drown if they stop swimming. You know, it's kind of like an urban legend, but it's kind of true. There's only a few species of sharks that actually can stop and go to sleep. Most sharks sleep or become, you know, restful, but they stay swimming while they're doing it because they literally will die. Like if water's not passing through their gills, they'll die. And I'm no marine biologist, so God forbid if somebody out there knows more about this than me and I said it wrong, I apologize. You know, disclaimer, asterisk, whatever. But no, like that's a metaphor for us. You know, as human beings, we always have to be moving. We always have to be evolving and growing within ourselves as adults. You know, it's not just you become 21, you're an adult, poof, you never change from that person that you are at that point in your life. You know, you're always changing. You're always adapting and evolving and growing and having new experiences and bad experiences, good experiences, you know. So take that baggage with you and process it. And the beauty of driving is you have a lot of time to think. You have a lot of time to think about things and figure things out and you know, be positive and proactive about what you're trying to do. So I'm going to let you guys go with that because, God, this is a long video and I feel like I just rambled on. My apologies. If I wore you out or if you're asleep and I'm just waking you up now and you missed it, I apologize in advance, you know, or afterwards, I guess. But, you know, one of those nights for me. So you guys kind of got my verbal, intellectual diarrhea tonight. It just kind of all came out. And there you have it. Sorry. Sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. So that's what I'm going to wrap up the video with. But, you know, thank you guys for subscribing. I can't say that enough. Thank you guys, everyone that's subscribed. For those of you that, you know, that understand what that is, if you're a YouTuber and you're hooked on YouTube, kind of like I am, subscribing to somebody that makes videos, all it means is you get a notification. So when they post a new video, it sends a little thing to your phone that tells you they posted something new. It's no big deal. I subscribe to a lot of different stuff, both on this channel and on my personal channel, you know, my personal account. I subscribe to a bunch of stuff. I kind of like YouTube. It's one of those things I'm kind of like a YouTube addict. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of different videos I like to watch. There's people out there putting out content all the time. Some of it's really cool. Some of it's really funny. Some of it's very informative. I subscribe to a couple Uber, Lyft drivers that I like. I subscribe to, on my personal channel, a bunch of musicians, some funny people, a car mechanic that I like who always posts videos about fixing cars because I do a lot of my own mechanical stuff. Just whatever. It's a great way to kind of keep up with new things. And I'm hoping that you'll subscribe to me the same way. I really hope so. So if you have, thank you. If you haven't yet, please do. But thank you for watching me, and thank you for finding me on the YouTube website. I really appreciate that as well. Spread the word. If you know any other Uber drivers out there, please let them know about my channel, because maybe there's something I can help them with. I know there's some non-Uber drivers out there that actually watch my videos too. So for those of you guys that don't drive for Uber, but you're still watching my videos, thank you. I've had a couple people tell me that have contacted me privately and said, like, hey, I don't even drive for a ride-sharing platform, but I just am interested in what you're doing. And it's interesting to hear your thoughts and stuff. So, okay, thank you. Thank you. I don't know why you'd sit through 20 minutes of me rambling about Uber, but thank you for doing so. So just thank you guys. I never knew what this was going to be. I'm not going to lie. I never knew if anybody would ever find me or if I would just be kind of like talking to myself. I never knew. And I'm just so happy that there's actually people out there that dig what I'm doing and follow me, subscribe, or check out my videos. It's cool to me. It's just cool to me to think there's people out there that appreciate what I'm doing. And maybe I'm helping some of you guys. That would be awesome, because that's what this is all about, is that you guys are your learning curve is shorter because of mine, because of my trial and tribulations. So hope to God that's the case. If nothing else, you guys get a good laugh out of my craziness. I'm cool with that too. If it's entertainment for you and not knowledge, that's fine. That's fine. I'm cool with entertainment. I'll take it any way I can get you. So, that's what we're going to wrap it up as. I'm going to be back out on the road tomorrow, back in DC. I've got to figure out what I'm doing on Thursday. Thursday is going to be my half day, but I really want to crush this quest goal. So I'm very conflicted on this thing because I really want to crush this quest goal. So I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna have to think about this one. So we'll see what we're gonna do there. But this is a long video. I'm gonna let you guys go, get some sleep, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. Bye.